there's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
With potential threats being mentioned in the Outer Rim and The Mandalorian, could we be seeing something more than just the remnants of the Empire? For me, I believe that we'll probably get a proper introduction to the Grysk soon. So who are the Grysk and where might we see them in live action? Stay tuned to find out. But before we get into it, if you like our videos, please like our content and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out and gives us the opportunity of creating more content for you. Okay, let's get into it. So the Grysk are a species who live in the unknown regions, and throughout the Thrawn novels, we learn that they are a formidable force that is able to infiltrate other societies and bend them to their will. In the novels, there's rumors that a very small amount of Grysk can actually control entire worlds, and the people that were called client species that are used to fight for them often will fight to the death on behalf of the Grysk. This makes me wonder if the Grysk are not force sensitive in some way to suggestion, given these client species are willing to die for the Grysk. The Grysk are described as having deep-set eyes, angled brow ridges, wide shoulders, with a tapered skull and no teeth. Some people think that the drummers in the Star Wars Eclipse game are actually Grysk, but that is yet to be confirmed, but they very well could be. One of the things we learn is that the Grysk know a lot about the galaxy, from the Chiss Ascendancy to the Empire and Palpatine himself. They've been spying on the known galaxy as far back as during the time of the Republic. In fact, the Grysk reached out to Dooku and the Confederacy of Independent Systems during the Clone Wars about information on cortosis. And if you don't know, cortosis is a very rare metal, kind of similar to Beskar, that was not only resistant to lightsabers, it had the ability of causing these weapons to turn completely off. Dooku actually began developing and producing clone trooper armor infused with cortosis on a secret droid factory on Mokhive. Anakin Skywalker and Thrawn discover this factory and eventually blow it up in the novelization by Timothy Zahn titled Thrawn Alliances. These events take place after Ahsoka leaves the Jedi Order around 19 BBY. Ultimately, they thought it was a plot to infiltrate the Republic with spies. It's really interesting to think what would have happened if Anakin had put together the true nature of Dooku designing clone trooper armor that would deflect lightsabers. The Grysk warriors have armor and helmets that is disfigured on the right side, which would show their enemies their animosity and how ruthless they were to fight. They use a type of lightning gun that fires energy bolts that can actually penetrate cortosis. The Grysk were such a major threat that the entire reason Thrawn joined the Empire was to ensure that a strong power could possibly be utilized to aid in the fight from this threat in the unknown regions. In the novel Thrawn Treason, we learn that during the time of Rebels, Thrawn does indeed help the Chiss Ascendancy with fighting back and destroying an outpost from the Grysk. Ultimately, we learn that the Grysk are trying to cause a civil war in the Chiss Ascendancy, and with Thrawn being taken to the Great Beyond with Ezra via the Purgles, the Chiss Ascendancy was left alone to fight against the Grysk. Without Thrawn to aid in the fight, with the destruction of the Empire, perhaps the Grysk have taken over the Chiss Ascendancy. Perhaps their sights are now on the Outer Rim and the New Republic. Could the Grysk be the real threat we are leading up to in The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and beyond? It would make sense to bring them into the story right now, since we have a canonical backstory to this species. Perhaps they're now armed with cortosis armor themselves, which would make them an even greater threat to Ahsoka, Ezra, and Luke Skywalker in his fledgling Jedi Order. Maybe we'll see an all-out war where all of our main antagonists fight alongside the New Republic, the Chiss Ascendancy, and even Thrawn and his crew aboard the Chimera. That would be an amazing way to end the possible new sequel trilogy during the Mandalorian time. One that would tie up all the stories, give us a new threat with the Grysk, and bring our heroes to a satisfying conclusion. So what do you think? Do you want to see the Grysk brought into live action? Let me know your thoughts and leave your comments below. Thanks for joining me today on Fatherly Fandom, and if you've enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and as always, from our families to yours, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.